In this one, I'm going to be talking about the ghost reveal that is apparently going to be going down today, and just my hopes of for the game for the reveal versus the realism of what it's probably going to be like. So I just streamed a minute ago, and I explained about my upload schedule and about the first 2 minutes of the video. So if you want to know about that, go ahead and look at that video. But you might be able to tell from the mic audio, you might not be able to tell. I'm doing this live, as it will then upload, and it's easier to upload over. And yeah, it's much easier just to process and get done. And I'm doing this live for many reasons. One, because I need to keep this under a time limit, because I could probably talk about this for 25 minutes, half an hour, and still have loads of things to say. But I'm going to try and keep it as condensed as I can. I've never played this map before. I think I played it once before, so if I'm bad, I'm bad. But yeah, I'll try and do as well as I can. So anyway, I just want to talk about Ghost in this video, nothing else. So Ghost 2 may have a reveal tonight. Now that's due to a source on Twitter, but it's a pretty reputable source. If it doesn't come today, it will come very, very soon. But apparently it will be called the Fire and Ice trailer. Like, Fire and Ice, I think, will just be the name. It will probably just have, like, the name of the game, so I'm guessing, let's just go for Ghost 2 while we can. That's what people seem to be calling it. That's why I called it that in the title of the video. But so it will be like Ghost 2, Fire and Ice trailer, and it would, or like teaser trailer. That's what the title will probably be, about 7 PM GMT time, which is probably around 12 midday in America. So that will probably be the time it will end up getting released. Seems to be like that for most of Call of Duty's uploads, to be fair. So my hopes for the game are that it is not a historic game. I wouldn't like it to go to the past. A lot of people would. I just don't think Infinity War would really do the past well. A lot of people have been talking about it, and I feel like kind of bad for saying that in a way. That I don't want it to be a past game, and I want it to be a current game. I want it to be, like, I'm not saying I want it to be future, because I don't. I want it to be a modern game. I want it to be a Modern Warfare 4, really and truly is what I want it to be. But I think they do modern well, and I think modern is what gets people, like, feeling the game's tones and what it's going for. I feel most of the community just felt a bit lost with this game. Oh, 5 points off the Cerebrus. Most of the community feel a bit lost with the new games, especially with the campaign. I mean, the campaign on Black Ops 3 was so bad. I can't even explain how bad it was. I mean, the explanation is you probably have not even played it. And that kind of sums up the campaign, because Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2's campaigns were so good. Because one of them was set in the 60s, and one of them was set basically currently, only like 10 years in the future. And it was very much like, this could really happen. But when you go too far into the future, you lose that. And that means the tones of the game and what the people who are making the game are trying to create, and the feelings they're trying to make you feel about robot warfare or whatever, are all a bit too far in the future and too far-fetched for you to ever really grasp and feel, you know, that this world is a believable world. And it has to be a believable world for the game to feel entertaining, and that's the core of the game. For me, a lot of people say the campaign isn't actually like anything that they buy the game for nowadays, but for me that is why I buy the game, is the campaign. Because if I like the campaign, I'll probably like the multiplayer. And all the games I've liked the campaign of, I've very much enjoyed the multiplayer, and I don't think anyone can say that they haven't. Like, I didn't like the Ghost campaign. The ADEV campaign was a bit mixed and matched, which is what the multiplayer was. It was a bit mixed. Like, I enjoyed it at the start, and then the end was crap, and that's exactly how the campaign was. Ghost was all a bit, like, ambitious with no end product. And Black Ops 3 was just a bit, like, I don't know, it just felt very corporate. It felt very, movie style, and it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel gritty at all. It didn't have a story. I didn't understand it, and that's pretty much my feelings for the multiplayer as well. But other games like Warfare 2, Warfare 1, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 all had extremely good campaigns. I think the worst of them would probably be, well, I don't know which one. Saying the worst makes it sound like it's bad. The worst is just the least good, not the bad. None of them were bad, but probably Modern Warfare 3 for me. The campaign was a bit, you know, a bit too fast-paced, actually. I felt like a lot of people want a fast-paced campaign, and a fast-paced game, and they like Modern Warfare 3's campaign, and it resolves storylines, which is why Modern Warfare 4 would be kind of difficult to make, as Modern Warfare 3 wrapped up storylines, but I don't know, I felt it kind of did it too quickly. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. Ghost 2 is the center of this, and as I just said then, Modern Warfare 4 would be a hard game to make, as it would have to be similar to the other games in the franchises, so they'd be capped on what they could and couldn't do. So that would be very hard for developers to kind of come to terms with the fact that they would have to stick to this fiction that they've created, which a lot of the people who really created that fiction have left the Infinity Ward team. So a lot of the people on board with Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 aren't actually on the creative team for the game anymore. So that obviously is a bit of an obstacle in the way of the developers, because they don't know the fiction. So that's why I'm pretty much ruling off Modern Warfare 4 right now. That doesn't mean it can't be a modern game, but I don't think it will go under the same name. I don't think it will be under the same franchise as Modern Warfare 4. I thought it would trip mines. As Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. I was really focusing then. So Ghost 2, I feel will be the title, because they can easily work with that franchise, and a lot of the people who were there for the start of it are still there now and understand the fiction and understand the world they were creating. What a waste of kinetic armor. That's why I feel it will be Ghost 2. So that's kind of the first point I wanted to get out of the way, that I feel it will be Ghost 2. And I think you have to kind of come to terms with that. It may not be. By the end of the day, we might be looking at a different title for a game, but I'm still thinking it is going to be Ghost 2.
Clean kill.
But then we move on to the movement system. Will it be the same movement system as Black Ops 3, or will it be the same as more of an Advanced Warfare style thing? Well, it's not going to be the exact same. We're not going to see the same name as well, because they are different companies making the game. Do I think there'll be a movement system? Yes. Do I want there to be a movement system? No. I think movement systems are 50% of the reason why the games are getting worse and worse, because although I like them and I think the movement system is good, it takes me away from the world that they're trying to build. It just makes it feel a bit too sci-fi, a bit too ambitious as well. It just all feels like kind of wrong. Like, this isn't what Call of Duty is supposed to be about. If you want to go off and make a different franchise and put in this movement system, it would work. You know, like, people would buy that game. And I mean, that sums up with Titanfall, because a lot of the people who made Call of Duty went off in the Titanfall with the Titanfall publishers, and they went and made that. So that sold very well. It's got a sequel coming out this year as well, which they got to remember, because they're going to have competition against Battlefield 5 and Titanfall 2. So they have not got an easy run in, and sales will probably diminish if they do not make this game modern or past, because that is the only reason people are going to buy this game. Also, supply drops. That is the third topic we need to move on to. So just to analyze what we've gone over first, Ghost 2 I believe will be the title, not Modern Warfare 4, even if it's a modern game. So that's another thing as a time period. I think it will be modern. Movement system, yes, but not like an extravagant one, just a modern movement system, so a bit more freedom to move, and not like exo movement or anything like that. Just more of a movement system that's suited towards the modern time they're going for. I'm saying modern in the depth of like 2030 is still kind of modern, because I don't think they're going to go too overboard with the technology. And then now we're moving on to supply drops, which, yes, will be in the game. No matter how you look at it, they will be in the game. They have to be in the game because they are making so much money. I don't think they will be back in the capacity that they have been, because I really do feel like sales will drop if they lie to customers again, like they lied to me. I felt pretty betrayed by Treyarch when they said in tweets and stuff that David Vonderhaar said that there would never be anything like that could, you know, give you an advantage. It would only be customization in the supply drops, and it turns out like 2 or 3 months in, they are being forced by Activision, who are the publishers for the next game as well. They will always be the publisher, to put in these weapons that give an obvious advantage. And yeah, I just don't like that. And I just think it's gonna come back, and I don't think anyone likes it. But it's making them money, and at the end of the day, they're a business, so they kind of have to make money. So they will be back, in my opinion. So that's my Ghost 2 roundup. I'm looking forward to the trailer. Hopefully, it will come out tonight. But yeah, so in analysis, I think it will be called Ghost 2. I think it will be from 2000 to 2030. I think that's the range I'll go to. I think there'll be a movement system and not too extravagant. And I think that they will have supply drops, but maybe not in the capacity we've seen them before. Or maybe just give the weapons to supply drop to season pass holders, and then you've eliminated the threat of people just blacking out the black market like they do on this game and having a whole people in the community just getting a bit annoyed with it. I wasn't on one side or the other, so I just stopped playing the game. So I hope they don't do the same as they did last year, but it's probably going to be pretty similar. So yeah, there's my predictions, but that's my hopes. Again, reality can be much different. But thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please slap a like and subscribe. Sorry, and go watch the last video, or at least the first couple of minutes, to see what I'm doing with the channel in the future. Hopefully, the trailer comes out tonight, and I'd love to hear your opinions about it. So message me on PS4 in the link below, and we can play some zombies or whatever, and talk about it then. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.